oftentimes we're asked to interpret the meaning of the y-intercept or explain the meaning of the y-intercept. For any graph, the y-intercept is where the graph crosses the y-axis. On a graph, the horizontal axis is called the x-axis, and the vertical axis is called the y-axis. If we draw a relationship, it's that point where that relationship crosses the y-axis that is the y-intercept. So let's highlight that point on this graph. It's right here. And if we had numbers, we could write the coordinate of that point. This is a negative point. The x-coordinate will be 0. And then the y-coordinate will be at whatever number that is, maybe -3, maybe -4. We're not sure on this particular graph because we don't have numbers on this particular graph. But when we look at our basketball example, the y-intercept of this graph is right here. That's where the graph crosses our y-axis, our vertical axis. And in this situation, if we look at the image, what does that represent? That represents at time 0, right before the ball is being thrown, how high in the air the ball is. And the ball is just a little bit above this player's head. You can say the y-intercept means time 0, the height of the ball is, and that looks like about 5 feet, maybe 5.5 feet. Or another way of saying this, and maybe a simpler way of saying this, is right as the ball is being thrown, the height of the ball. This will be similar, maybe a little bit above, maybe a little bit below the height of the player. So we can think of the y-intercept of this story poem as being the height of the ball, where the ball starts right as it's being thrown.